I want to talk to you today about this amazing quote that I heard once, and I can't for the life of me think of where it came from to credit the person, but the quote was that if you don't sacrifice in order to achieve your goals, then your goals become the sacrifice. What that means is that by not getting up every day, putting in the time and effort to work towards what you want in life, one day you'll wake up and it'll be too late to actually get it. And so you've sacrificed what you actually wanted in life to have an immediate gratification. So those who are successful at getting what they want out of life, anything meaningful out of life, tend to be people that are able to delay gratification. And the ability to do that sort of sets apart, to me, from what I observe, sets apart people that achieve what they want in life and people that don't. And for that reason, I get up every day, I have my goals written down, I read them, I think about what I can do this day to work a little bit towards what I actually want in life. So as well as getting up and going to work, feeding myself, making sure I've got my bills paid and things like that just to survive, and also to invest. I mean, my career is somewhat aligned to what I want in life, and I get fulfillment out of my career, so that's part of it. But you also got to think, what are your personal objectives as well? What do you want out of life outside of your career? You might have the most fantastic career, but it's unlikely that will be the entirety of what you want to achieve. So do you want to get to 65 and retire and think, I had this amazing career, and that's the only thing that defines your life? In some cases, yes, maybe you have some fantastic success in your career and you do all these amazing things, and if so, that's brilliant. And that is partly for me. I've been lucky enough to find a career where I do get fulfillment out of it. But I also think it's important to think what you want to achieve, not just in your hobbies, but also your long-term impact on the world, or what you want to leave behind, what you want to say that you did with your time here, and what legacy you'll leave, if you know what I mean. I'm only 27, but I'm always thinking about this sort of stuff, because to me, I've got maybe 40 years to really make a difference. And because once you get to I think it's 65, and no offense if anyone's watching this and they're sort of approaching 65, and perhaps you can identify with it, and perhaps you'd agree that it's probably too late to really do anything impactful. Not necessarily though. There's a comedian called George Burns, and he started his stand-up comedy career at 70 and he died at 102. So he had this amazing career from 70 years old, so it's never too late. But in terms of when you're actually you're most likely to make this real impact is now. I think about this with health and fitness, for example. So I think it's Aristotle that said the greatest tragedy in life is when, he said a man, but I suppose a person doesn't, I'm going to butcher the quote, but he said that when they don't realise the pinnacle of their health and fitness, they don't push their body to the limit and achieve the ultimate sort of sculpture of a man, or the picturesque sort of Herculean look that was idolised in ancient Greek times. If you don't push your body to the limit, achieve the best physique you possibly can while you're in your sort of mid to late 20s or so, I suppose, then everything's going to go down the hill from there. You're never going to achieve that. So by the same score, if you never really maximise those years between, say, 18 and 65, it's going to be a lot harder when it does come to it to actually try and make that impact. So I wanted to reflect on that, and I think it's important to think about. I think it's something to bear in mind that, things like watching TV, things like for me, like watching podcasts, and for me also social media is a massive time suck. I've done everything I can to sort of minimise that, but I'm still working on that. I think it's a very difficult thing to deal with, and it's a sort of plight of our modern age here in 2020. But it's something to think about. Is this delivering me any sort of value? Is this giving me anything long term? Will this contribute to my impact on the world? Will this give me anything to look back on or to note? If I put a post out there and it gets like a lot of likes, that's quite good. But is important? Does that mean anything, or would it be just thrown away and forgotten in history books? Whereas if you turn the phone off, put the phone down, and you work on something that actually is meaningful and impactful, you don't get the immediate rewards. But at 65, or hopefully like 75, 80, when you're sitting on your deathbed and you're looking back on life and you think, am I proud of myself? Did I achieve? Am I satisfied with what I did? Are you going to be thinking about what you did on social media, what you did day to day, what car you drove, things like that? Or are you going to be thinking about what was your impact on the world, what you leaving behind, what you be remembered for, how long will you be remembered? Will you be a name that sort of rings out in history, or will you just be left as outcast? Will you just be forgotten in the sands of time? I think that's the ultimate risk in life. I think that's the ultimate risk, is that you don't do anything important and you die. So think of it in those terms, and hopefully that helps put things into perspective, and maybe explain also why I do these sorts of things. Like I'm doing LinkedIn, I'm videoing myself and doing things that scare me, because for me it might, maybe you look stupid, or maybe it could do sort of other damage in different areas of your life. But if you don't do what you really want to do in life, the biggest risk is that you die without having done what you actually wanted to do, if that makes sense. We come into this world alone and we die alone, so whatever your friends think of you, whatever people around you think of you, it ultimately doesn't matter. What matters is what you think of yourself, and that's the message I want to put out there. Thanks for watching, and see you next week. Bye.